Finally, England have announced their 26-man squad for Euro 2021. It has taken a very long time to announce, but with just over a week left until Euro 2021, England have finally announced their squad that they're taking to the competition. And many English fans are saying that it is finally coming home. Early, unfortunately. Yeah, that's right. Lots of fans don't have a lot of faith in this English team. Many fans are saying that it is way too defensive, this 26-man squad, and that it is way too negative. And that is why, ladies and gentlemen, in today's video, I'll be reacting to the full 26-man squad from goalkeepers, defenders, midfielders, and attackers. I've done it with a bunch of other nations. You guys seem to have absolutely loved those videos. So today, I'll be reacting to the England 26-man squad. Okay, so getting into England's 26-man squad for the Euros this year, we start off in the three goalkeeping positions. First being Dean Henderson, Sam Johnstone, and Jordan Pickford. Now, I'm quite happy as a Manchester United fan that there are two former Manchester United Academy goalkeepers here, being Henderson and Johnstone. And I'm not surprised by any means that Dean Henderson is in this list. I wouldn't be surprised if he started for England in quite a few games. Brilliant goalkeeper overall, got a lot more game time than I thought he would this season. And when David De Gea hasn't been available, Jordan Pickford has really given David De Gea a run for his money. Has been a brilliant goalkeeper this season, and once again, as I said, wouldn't be surprised if he started for England. Second goalkeeper being Sam Johnstone. Although West Brom got relegated from the Premier League this season, he was genuinely West Brom's shining light from time to time. A brilliant goalkeeper, and I wouldn't be surprised if he was signed by another club to come back to the Premier League. He is that good. And third goalkeeper, maybe the best goalkeeper in the world at this stage, Jordan Pickford. Although not the most composed goalkeeper in the world, he can be brilliant on his day, and let's be honest, lots of credit has to be given to him because he almost single-handedly put Liverpool out of a Champions League spot this season, and is a huge reason to why Netherlands might struggle in the Euros because they don't have Virgil van Dijk. But jokes aside, Jordan Pickford, although can be a bit aggressive, make a few, stupid mistakes in the moment, still a good goalkeeper overall. And I think these three goalkeepers, they're pretty decent for England. I don't see too many problems there. Now getting into England's defenders, where most people have a problem, and wow, that is a square jaw. That jaw is so square. I think it could piss off Squidward, but lots of people are complaining the fact that there are 4 right backs for England for the Euros. Why do you need 4 right backs? It's a really weird decision, but saying that, I mean, Kyle Walker, he could be brought into the squad as a centre back and not a right back, or maybe a goalkeeper. You never know. But of course, first defender on the list being Trent Alexander-Arnold. Lots of people thought that this wouldn't happen, that he would be dropped from the squad, which I don't really understand why. Trent Alexander-Arnold is a fantastic right back. To me, he should start for this England squad. I think in terms of his goal contributions, he's brilliant. Obviously this season, Liverpool as a whole hasn't performed, but towards the end of the season, Alexander-Arnold has really picked up. Not surprised he's in the squad. I think he 100% deserves it. The next defender is going to be Ben Chilwell in the left back position. Now whether he'll start or not, or Luke Shaw will, I'm not too sure, but Ben Chilwell has been brilliant for Chelsea this season. Got to an FA Cup final, won the Champions League, but in terms of his individual performances, his chance creation and him just being a good modern day fullback, I think he 100% deserves it. First centre back is going to be Connor Cody, which I don't know. I feel like this is one that could it's either a hit or miss, to be honest with you. I think he's a good centre-back overall. Can make mistakes from time to time. Got a good leadership quality about him. I think he's a good centre-back. But I do feel like he's a 50-50 choice. You can either have him or not have him. I don't know. We'll see how he performs. Next up, we've got Rhys James. And as I said, in terms of 4 right-backs, I get it. I'll admit it as a Manchester United fan. I was wrong. I always say I don't understand how Aaron Wan-Bissaka can't get into the England squad, but now I get it. After watching that Champions League final, I mean, Rhys James and the likes of Kyle Walker and all those other right backs, they are so good. Rhys James was brilliant in the Champions League final, defensive and attacking ability. I think that he really could start for England almost in the squad. Next up, we've got Harry Maguire. Once again, not too surprised as someone that majority of people are going to hate. If you're not a Manchester United fan, you don't want to see him in the England squad. That's just how it works. English fans just don't seem to like Manchester United players. That's how it works sometimes. But Harry Maguire can make mistakes. But as we learned this season, when he's not in that Manchester United squad, they do tend to struggle. A very good centre-back overall at the end of the day. And once again, is there for his leadership. Next up, Tyrone Ming. Once again, bit of an odd one. I find that he makes really weird mistakes and that he has poor judgment of attackers. But you know what? At the end of the day, if he is a backup centre-back option, I don't have too many mistakes. Luke Shaw is going to be next, which fantastic season. A Roberto Carlos for Manchester United this season. In my opinion, think that he should have been Manchester United's player of the season. He was that brilliant, but of course Bruno Fernandes ended up winning it for United. But Luke Shaw has really recovered and has really turned his career around. I think he's been brilliant this season and 100% deserves it. John Stones, sorry, I almost said Sam Johnstones. It's just John Stones, it's just a surname. John Stones has been brilliant. Once again, just like Luke Shaw, for a Manchester club, has turned his career around. Along with the likes of Ruben Dias, has probably been the best centre-back in the league. John Stones, not surprised he's in the squad whatsoever, and will probably start with the likes of Harry Maguire in the back. Next up, centre right back number 3, it is going to be Kieran Trippier, which I'm not going to lie, this squad is so defensive and so negative. I mean, it's so predictable what England are going to do just by the squad they've released. They are going to play 3 centre-backs, and they are only going to get 2 clean sheets throughout this entire tournament. I can make that prediction right here, right now. It's so many defenders. Kieran Trippier obviously made the world go crazy during the 2018 World Cup with his free kick. But you know what? Good season with Atletico Madrid, but whether he deserves to be in the squad, whether England had to choose 4 right backs instead of another attacking midfield, I guess we'll have to wait and see if that's a mistake. And final defender is going to be the likes of Kyle Walker, which, as I said, in that Champions League final, along with Rhys James, was a brilliant right-back option. I genuinely thought that he was past his prime, but in that game, he was fantastic. And as I said, very versatile player, will probably play as a centre-back option next to Stones and Maguire. But you know what, at the end of the day, deserves to be in the squad. Okay, now getting into England's midfield for the Euros. We've only got 5 midfielders, weirdly enough, which is so weird to think about England having so many defenders and yet only 5 midfielders. And 3 of those midfielders are defensive midfielders. It is so bizarre in my opinion. I think England might struggle at the Euros because this is a very negative, very defensive team. And unfortunately, that's the way Gareth Southgate operates. If it was up to me, I would drop Kieran Trippier in defense. I mean, no one asked for 4 right backs. Are we really still going to talk about this? Why do England have 4 right backs? I would drop Kieran Trippier and I would bring up Jesse Lingard. It is a crime that Jay Lings is not in the England squad. I mean, no English player has scored more goals in the second half of the season than Jesse Lingard, other than Harry Kane. Jesse Lingard has been a superstar, and who wouldn't want to watch a Euro final between England and France where Paul Pogba and Jesse Lingard get to dab it out to see who wins? That is an absolute crime that Lingard is not included. But looking at the 5 midfielders that they do have, as I said, 5 midfielders, a bit strange. Jude Bellingham, it's a bit of a weird one. He's performed well for England when he's played. He's performed well for Borussia Dortmund. Whether he deserves to be there over the likes of a James Ward-Prowse or someone more experienced, I think that's a totally opinionated thing. I think it's a bit strange he's in there, but I'm not too surprised he's there. Jordan Henderson, it's a tiny bit of a strange one. He hasn't played a lot this season due to injury. But you know what? Once again, he is a player in the squad for his leadership. I mean, he is a brilliant leader overall. And if he is fully fit, he can make a huge impact on the team. A very strong physical player, once again, can win the ball in the midfield position, is great with headers. Not surprised he's in the squad. Third of all, Mason Mount. Look, I'm a Manchester United fan, but I absolutely love Mason Mount. A fantastic season overall, and genuinely, as I said, going to be the next Frank Lampard. Brilliant player overall, and in terms of attacking ability from the midfield, this is your guy. Next midfielder, Calvin Phillips. Once again, pretty decent season for Leeds. Has been a part of this England squad since Leeds won the championship. I think that just shows how much quality he has. As I said, maybe just too many defensive players in this midfield, because the last midfielder is going to be Declan Rice. Wow, no one thought Declan Rice 2-3 years ago when he swapped his international allegiances from Ireland to England. No one thought that he would be this good for England, but he is a brilliant midfielder overall, and once again, not surprised by any means that he is in this England squad. But guys, we finally get there, our England attack for Euro 2021, which, by the way, if you've enjoyed this video up until this point, please do leave a like down below. Can we please get this video to 20 likes? And of course, guys, we're so close to 1,100 subscribers. We literally hit 1,000 subscribers not even a week ago, so I would really appreciate hitting that goal. That would be massive. But getting into England's attack, starting off, we've got Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Brilliant season for Everton, not surprised he's in the squad whatsoever, has learnt a lot under the likes of Duncan Ferguson. Brilliant striker, not surprised he's here. Next up, we've got Phil Foden, part of the Manchester City history-making squad, getting to their first ever Champions League final, but unfortunately lost that final. But once again, Phil Foden, brilliant season overall, has really shown the world that he has what it takes to play in the big league. Next up, we've got Jack Grealish, although injured for a large portion of the season. Brilliant player overall, and once again, could win England a lot of fouls, a lot of free kicks, which, England are pretty decent with their free kicks from time to time. But Jack Grealish, brilliant player overall, very tricky to tackle, so I think he deserves to be in the squad. Next up, we've got Harry Kane. Captain Harry Kane, not surprised he's in the squad whatsoever, and I'm pretty sure he's happy that this 26-man squad is decided, because there's no way that man could pronounce preliminary squad whatsoever. But Harry Kane, top goal scorer and assist maker in the Premier League this season. If he isn't Premier League player of the season, I genuinely don't know what can win it. So Harry Kane, brilliant, not surprised he's here. Marcus Rashford, bit of an iffy one for most people as a Manchester United fan. I think he has underperformed this season, but when he does play well, he is a match winner. He can score beautiful goals and is a good attacker overall. Has just had a bit of a dry spell, I would say, this season. But in terms of contributions and assists, not too bad. Bukayo Saka, sorry, I always pronounce it the other way around. I'm not going to lie, I'm a tiny bit surprised he is in the squad. I think he's a brilliant young player, probably the best attacker for Arsenal this season. But whether he should have made it in the squad over one or two other attacking names, I'm slightly surprised. But in terms of his ability, in terms of chance creation, I think he's a brilliant young player. Next up, we've got Jaden Sancho, who hasn't had the numbers that he did last season, for example. But at the end of the day, in terms of chance creation, he is a fantastic player and has had a good season with Borussia Dortmund overall. Of course, linked to Manchester United. And if he makes that move to Manchester United, I think he can have a very successful year overall. And guys, finally, the final player in this England squad for Euro 2021, it is going to be Raheem the Dream Sterling, the man who runs like a dinosaur trying to dry his nails. Look, I like Raheem Sterling. He can underperform. 0 goals in the 2018 World Cup. He can disappear like that. We saw in the Champions League final, he makes good runs every now and then. But I don't think his passing is 100% there yet. I think that he misses some key passing. Sometimes he's a bit selfish. But guys, that is the England Euro 2021 squad. I think it is a good squad. But as I said, a bit too defensive, a bit too negative. There are players that obviously dropped out of the preliminary squad, like the likes of Godfrey in defense. I think he was a good option, but was never going to make it over the others. Likes of Ben White, same in my opinion. Greenwood dropped out due to injury. There are some fantastic players, unfortunately, that had to drop out of the squad, but it is a very good England squad overall. Also, no Bamford, who is never going to be in the squad, unfortunately, although one of the top scorers in the Premier League, and no Ollie Watkins. It's a very interesting England squad, but I think they can make it a fair way through. I want to ask you guys to put down in the comment section down below, where do you think England will end up in Euro 2021? Do you think they'll get to the semi-finals, the quarterfinals, the final? Will they bring it home? And of course, guys, if you have not seen my full Euro 2021 prediction, I will leave it in the description down below. I'll leave a link to it, or in the eye thingy up above, whichever one I'm not too lazy to do. But once again, guys, that is the Euro 2021 squad. Let me know what you think of it down below. But this has been fun. FYNN. Until next time, cheers.